So hi, When the Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with.
And I'm Haiden.
And we're asking some questions today about his upcoming EP, Loverboy. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you personally feel about it since the time of recording it is not announced yet?
I love every moment of this EP, and I set out to just have as many moments as possible on it. So I feel like each song feels like it could have been a single in another life, or each song feels like it could have been something that I heard from the backseat of my mom's car growing up, or everything has like a place, and it's all very nostalgic to me. And I think it really hones in on what I love about music, which is like nostalgic melodies and things that relate to memories and all of that subconscious stuff. So I'm pretty happy with it still.
That's awesome.
Damn
Hell
right.
yeah. I was jamming the EP earlier. It's so good. And the response to the singles so far have been massive. Congratulations on everything. I saw the billion playlists you got off the last single. That's fucking huge.
Oh, thanks so much.
Of course.
I'm glad you liked it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. It was incredible. As you said, I think you nailed on the head. Nostalgic. Back in mom's car. It's beautiful. I fucking loved it.
Oh, thank you so much. Did you guys have one that called out to your inner child more than others, or ones that hit you a certain way?
The fifth song.
Fifth song.
Oh, Good Side.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think honestly, Bleachers, which
Oh, no
was a
way,
single. Yeah, Bleachers is my favorite. It's such an earworm. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is it was me wanting to that is me trying to be the rock star that I wanted to be growing up.
Yeah.
And like not not necessarily a real rock star, but the rock star that I wanted to be growing up. And that's why I love it so much. And it's such a Bleachers is like the perfect live song because it gets the crowd really engaged, and the crowd will go na 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 na.
Yeah.
And then yeah, Good Side, the one that you like, Shane, is I think is like my personal favorite because I love the guitar and I love just songwriting, and that one is just like a hey there Delilah for me.
Yeah, that's that was when I was listening to the radio with my mom, was like early 2000s, and that just feels like a song from that era where I'm sitting in the back, exactly how you described the EP.
Yeah, I totally relate.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful. So is there any meaning behind the EP title or cover art?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple in the way that I was doing a music video shoot for A Hell of a Good Time, which is the first single, and my co-star who's playing the devil, who's a really sweet and talented actress. She was asking me just about the project that this is on and stuff, and A Hell of a Good Time, although it is upbeat and kind of intense sounding, it is a love song. And I was just talking about how happy I've been in life and how optimistic I am about relationships and all this stuff. And if you've listened to my prior music, it's not at all like that. I do not talk about relationships in a positive light most of the time. And she said, "Oh, okay, lover boy." And just like that, I was like, interesting. And I couldn't get it out of my head. And we kept working on the whole EP, and the whole time I was just like, lover boy, lover boy. And it made me think of Hell of a Good Time. If I say, if she wants a lover, I could be the one to love her. It's like, that's kind of how I feel this whole time. It's like I'm just like optimistic and feel like a puppy in my life when it comes to relationships. So I got it from her. I don't even think she knows that. I actually should probably text her about that. And then the artwork, I just wanted to continue the theme of the artworks. I'm kind of doing, for the first time, black and white artworks. I've always had color, and they've always been kind of punchy and vibrant. And I just wanted something that separated this project because it's the first project that I'm going as Haiden Henderson for. I've always just been Haiden up until this point, and I wanted a clear delineation. And I loved the old Calvin Klein ads, the like black and white 90s Calvin Klein ads, and I felt like the artwork for the EP kind of just brings me back to that place. And so it's me in, a tank and white boxers, like putting on my clothes, and they're all kind of just disheveled in a white studio space. And it felt like a Mark Wahlberg 90s Calvin Klein ad or something. It's kind of just a vibe.
Yeah, that's fucking
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
Love it. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the EP?
Yeah, this one was different. The writing was much more collaborative, and I am having a lot more fun, I think, on the songs, and I'm pushing my vocals into new places that I hadn't done before. And I really just come off of a polar opposite vibe, which was listening to a lot of Arctic Monkeys and Sufjan Stevens, and influences that weren't as pop. And so the Choke of My Heart EP was more tame vocally, but emotionally it was a lot more intense. And this one I sort of wanted to flip the script. So I'm having a lot more fun while recording. The lyrics are a lot more bouncy and vibrant, more similar to my first EP. And I was working with just a handful of people that I let into the writing process. And so one of them was um, is a fantastic songwriter named Lauren Christie, who's written Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne and Complicated by Avril Lavigne, and I'm With You, as well as like Me, Myself, and I by G-Eazy, and some of Korn, which is like a metal band's biggest records. And she's just like she was the second woman in history to be nominated as producer of the year at the Grammys. So she's just like a gangster.
Yeah.
And the sweetest like British mother. So she's just a mom and is so fun. And she basically invented the kind of music that I grew up on, which is those really slutty 2000s melodies. And so I have worked really closely with her on this project as well as a producer named Midi Jones, who is a fantastic Grammy nominated beast of a producer, and Joe Pepe, who's an amazing producer who I wrote a lot of these songs with in the room. So just literally just like us as a little group, just created this world as well as the rest of the music that I have coming after this EP. I've just been working with the same people and felt really safe in that process, and so got a little bit weirder for it.
Hell yeah. I'm glad that you mentioned Lauren Christie, because I was going to bring her up if it didn't come up, because her credits just blow me away. Like, Korn is one of my all-time favorite bands, so she's written a bunch of their best songs, and then she's got so much pop and just she's such a fantastic songwriter. So I'm glad you got to work with her. You had a positive experience, and it's fucking awesome.
Met her through her daughters, who are in a really good kind of like indie leaning duo band. And I met Lauren, and I love meeting people, even if it's an artist. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to an artist and you're like, holy shit, they wrote that song. Oh, wow, I know this song. And you didn't realize that you knew it, but the melody was already in your head. Like, that feeling to me is so intoxicating. And she just had so many of those things. So when I met her and realized later who she was, like, I was having spaghetti at her place and wine before I knew who she was. And it was such a pure relationship. And then we wrote a song together, and immediately we were like, oh, wow, okay, this is cool. We should do this. And I think we both see an opportunity to kind of do what she was doing in the early 2000s, but with a male pop act, which is fun and exciting for the two of us.
That's super exciting.
For sure. Yeah. And just to clarify, is your writing process bringing like shells of songs into the studio, or do you solely write in the studio?
Before this EP, I wrote everything in my bedroom on an acoustic guitar alone. And it was a really, really brutal, interrogative process that I put myself through, but it was the only way I knew how to, and I loved doing it. And I still love writing alone. But now that I've started having fun in the studio, I will bring likely a concept and a melody, or a concept and a chord structure, or a concept and a reference to something. And then we'll build off of that and or I'll come in with a story. I come in with like the genesis of an idea, because otherwise I get insecure while people watch me write, or while people watch me like try to muster up this idea. And so throughout the week, I'm like writing down little ideas or little turns of phrases that I've said in conversations in my notes app. And I'm coming in with that. It was like, here's the title, here's the story that this title makes me think of. here's like a piece of a verse. What do we think about this? And then as a room with these like, 2 or 3 trusted people, we're like, yeah, you haven't said that before. That's cool. Or you kind of said that last time. How do we make that cooler? Or that's the nice part about working with the same people over and over again is they are very honest. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, that's sick, dude, just because they want
Yeah.
to like get a cut. And they're also honest about whether or not they buy what you're saying. And I rarely buy what I'm saying. Like I think I do one thing well and the rest of it like shit. So it's nice to have those people there. So that's typically how it starts. And then I'll come back and rewrite pieces of the verse alone in my room still and make little tweaks because I'm a sociopath.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
It's your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never stop working.
Yeah. Goddamn right. So what song off this EP took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Oh, that's such a good question. I usually have an answer for what takes the longest to write because it's glaring. It's because I spent like days writing it in my room. Pretty much all of the songs on this we wrote in the first day. And this was a collection of songs that kind of just fell in our lap. And that's really rare for me. Like Hell of a Good Time, the first thing that we said for everything was what ended up in the song. Like the first thing that was played in the studio, I think, was dun 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 dun. It was just the guitar riff, and then the first chorus melody was "If she wants to save it, I could be the one to save it." And the first thing that I said was, "She's the devil. She's sharpening her nails, and she's hiding little horns in her hair." Like it was a weird. The clouds were opening kind of thing, and that was all over this. Good Side was I wrote more traditionally, like in my bedroom. I came up with the chorus melody and pieces of the lyrics, and I brought it to one of my best friends, who's a songwriter and an artist named Sam Short. And I brought a guitar to her place unannounced. We sat on her couch and drank wine and got wine drunk and wrote Good Side, which was like I just wanted to write like a very romantic song about someone seeing the best in me even when I can't. And that one was the clouds opening. There really wasn't a slouch on this EP. Maybe One Before the One was the most difficult to produce, I would say, and the most difficult to record. And it's just because the parts on it are kind of complex. There's a lot of like counter rhythms and stuff in that. But that's the first one that Lauren and I ever wrote together, was One Before the One.
Okay. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So for this question, I want you to pick your favorite lyric off the EP and tell us the meaning behind it.
I think I would have to say in Good Side. I think Good Side does my favorite kind of storytelling where it lets you fill in the gaps as a listener as you're going. Like, I'm stepping on your toes while spinning you. Even with 2 left feet, you still want to dance with me. And I feel like that is such a as a listener, I'm like attaching a visual as every line goes on. And then the chorus, I could run out of money, you'd say my heart is gold. I could stop being funny and you'd still laugh at my jokes. I could show you the ugly, you'd say I'm beautiful. You see me from my good side even when I don't. And I feel like that was just a really nice full circle moment. And when we finished writing that chorus on Sam's couch, I was just like, I think I have the original voice memos from it. And we were like, wait, this is good. We were like kind of drunkenly like, oh my God, wait, that's really beautiful. It just didn't feel like something that we had written. It felt like something I would have heard on the radio as a kid. And yeah, we were very giddy about that. So I would say the chorus of Good Side I'm really proud of. And the bridge of it as well. I realize I'm talking a lot, but I'm going through all of this right now. Yeah. I'm reflecting with you guys for the first time on this project. But the bridge as well. And even when when your walls come down, when you get sick or burn a frozen pizza, that really got me too. Because in the first verse I say, I burn everything I touch. You think it's hilarious. And I was often burning frozen pizzas with this unnamed person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good picks. Good picks. So, would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this EP?
Yeah, I think I've been happy, pretty consistently happy for the first time in a long time. I have like everybody in their 20s has been a person replicating like my familial dynamics and stuff. And I grew up in a pretty tumultuous environment. I had like a biological father in and out of prison, and I was in and out of like psychiatric care and court ordered therapy, and my mom was working a lot to try to support my little brother and I. So I had just like a lot of chaos in the house growing up. And so I've been replicating that in my personal relationships for a long time and have sought out a lot of validation and affirmation from people around me, and have been very reliant on others to tell me my self-worth. And this CP is sort of feels like the first time that I've found stability in my life and have enjoyed the most recent software update of who I am. And some of these songs I feel like are love letters to a specific person that has helped me find that, as well as love letters to like this person that I've landed on being. And
Yeah.
so Choke on My Heart was the opposite of that. It was like my rock bottom as a person. Like this shit has got to stop. This sucks. And a lot of the songs were calling it out really aggressively. But I loved going from such a low point to such a high point in my life, because that's typically how it happens. You hit a rock bottom and then you've got to change something. And then in the music as well, to come off of Choke on My Heart and then go into Lover Boy is like the most polarizing shift. And from Killed the Kid to Good Side, it's like Killed the Kid is about killing the inner child that falls in love too quickly, and Good Side is about just fully giving into that. And yeah, that shift is fun. So I think that is pretty reflective of where my head's been at.
Gotcha. Well, I'm happy that you're happy with the newest software update in the Haiden universe. I like
this
that.
Version's ticking. It's doing its thing.
That's good.
Good.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this EP for the first time? Should you do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is it workout EP, party EP? What do you personally recommend?
I think I mean, I say it in the car a lot, but this one is just so backseat of your mom's car kind of vibe to me. And listening with a friend would be really fun. There's some like moments where I was checking to see if it was good by whether or not people were laughing when I was showing them, and I was making my friends laugh with like, and I know the code to the back of your car sharing Amazon Prime because that shit isn't cheap. It's feeling too perfect. It's making me nervous. And what if we break up and you just say, shut up? We're not broken, we're just broke. And my friends were like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're being such a sappy boy. You're being such a loser right now. And yeah, and that was I was like, okay, sweet. It's good.
That's good.
So maybe with a friend.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Good pick. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Nostalgic, fun, and dancey, I would say. I feel like you can dance to most of the songs on this. Probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah. So can you talk about any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of this EP, positive or negative?
Positive was the clouds opening up a lot on these songs. It felt like they were songs that I don't even take credit for writing. Lauren and I were constantly looking at each other being like, she would be like, who the fuck are you? And I would be like, who the fuck are you? What the fuck is going on? Like, these are really fun songs. We were just pinching ourselves constantly. And the low point of this EP was, I think the low point of the EP is just the pressure that I put on myself constantly. But that's just that is a given. I put a lot of pressure on each of these songs to be everything that I want them to be when they're no longer mine. But I'm at the end of the day happy enough with everything that it can do, whatever it does, and I'm satisfied with what I have said in these songs and where it takes me into the next project and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Do you work well under that pressure that you're putting on yourself for these songs to perform once they're like no longer yours, or do you kind of cave into that pressure?
I get better at letting go when the song is no longer mine. Interestingly, when a song is out, it's like not mine anymore, and I feel internally pretty similar to that.
Mhm.
It's when this song is still mine. There's a lot of pressure on pre-release marketing and stuff right now, and how much hype can you build for a song before people have even heard the whole thing. And I think it's in those moments that I put a lot of pressure on myself to give the song the best life that it can have. It's like I want to raise these kids to not be pieces of shit so that I can send them to college and they can like be okay in the world or do okay in the world. And it's the same with these songs. I just want to like do as best as I can as their parent to make sure that they're prepared for the world.
That makes a lot of
Or
sense.
prepared for them, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
Oh, dude, there are these this is such a lame answer. There are these protein cookies that are like Larry's and Larry's. Have you guys-
Oh, yeah. It's like two dudes on the front,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Lemon
they're the
Larry's.
two dudes. It's like the Ben and Jerry's of protein snacks.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find a picture of them. There's a double chocolate one of these that my mom was a health nut growing up. And so yeah, these things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would grab a double chocolate version of this because it was something that I ate growing up for some reason.
All right.
Yeah.
And then maybe a kombucha, which is also lame as fuck, but
No, man, kombucha is the best. What's like your go-to flavor?
um I like the ones that feel like they're working. Like I don't really care if food tastes that good, but like if a
Yeah.
kombucha fucks me up, like a cayenne pepper cleanse or a ginger lemon, those things feel like it is like torching my insides. I'm like, yeah, clean me up. Give me. And so
All right.
All right. All right.
And for the last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Imagine if I said the gas station snack. That would be crazy. Yo, those things hit though. What would I? Ooh, that's such a good question. Such a difficult question. I love ice cream, so some form of ice cream there. I'm gonna say there's this ice cream from a brand called Jenny's. That's a very LA thing, but it's called Brambleberry Crisp, and it's like a pie ice cream. I'm not a cake person. I prefer pie, and I like fruits and stuff and desserts. So I would say some kind of fruit pie ice cream situation. And then I would do some kind of like medium rare, marinated for 48 hours steak kind of thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I grew up vegan, but now I'm just like nothing replaces a steak. I don't know what happened. I flipped the other way like crazy.
Yeah. And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
A New York City where Spider-Man exists. I just want to know what that's like to see a dude swinging across some skyscrapers. I want to know if people get pissed off at him climbing on the walls. Like, I just need to
Leaving
know
his
the
webs
logistics.
everywhere.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Who
Also,
the fuck's clean that up?
yeah, and he's like, imagine you're at work. There's a window right here, and you just hear like someone running across
I'd be
the fucking
pissed.
wall. It would destroy me. I would be so scared.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about this. I want to know what that's like.
Those are the burning questions that we need the real answers to.
That's what I need the answers to. Yeah.
And I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
A forest green.
Ooh.
Most people would think I try to avoid saying blue. Blue feels like a basic answer, but I would say it's forest green or blue.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Blue's a great color. Don't let anyone shame you into thinking it's a basic answer.
Yeah, I think because I'm blonde and blue eyes, everybody's just like, blue is your color. And I'm just like, for some reason, the anti-authoritarian in me was like, fuck that shit, I'm green now.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck blue.
Yeah, fuck blue. But Yeah, blues also. Blues cool, I guess.
All right.
I guess. Yeah.
So as I said, that's all the questions you have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
No, just check out the Loverboy EP. It's the first time I'm even saying the title out loud. So I hope you like it.
Hell
That's
yeah.
all.
All right. Well, thank you for now. It's been Haiden Henderson, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.